Sorry to interrupt the honourable member. His time has expired. Call Hilary Calvert.
Mr Speaker, I rise on behalf of the ACT Party with lukewarm support for this bill. ACT supports the Environmental Protection Authority Bill as far as Select Committee. For a whole raft of reasons, we are reluctant to take that support any further. The ACT Party is all for any legislation that removes pointless bureaucracy and makes life easier for those who wish to get ahead. The bill's explanatory note makes many good noises, such as the purpose of creating an EPA is to more effectively, efficiently and transparently manage the regulation of New Zealand's environment and natural and physical resources. If only. As a rule, you do not reduce regulation by creating an extra regulatory body. An additional layer of bureaucracy, no matter how well-meaning, is still an additional layer of bureaucracy. And with that comes more paperwork, more muddled decision-making, and of course more demand for government funding that could be better spent elsewhere. Case in point, the Regulatory Impact Statement estimates the extra one-off capital and establishment costs at between $1.8 and $3.5 million, with an increase in annual costs of up to $2.4 million. The Labour Party seems to think that having 140 staff will improve the cleanliness of our water, and seems to think that number isn't enough. And my question would be, how many people does it take to make the water clean? And my answer, since the Labour Party doesn't seem to know, is that water has to want to be clean. If this bill were to give truth to its intentions, it would streamline the system. This might very well mean getting rid of the regional councils and all the obstacles and complexities they bring to the table. As Local Government Minister Rodney Hyde showed, you can eliminate all sorts of duplicated practices and thus save ratepayers huge amounts of time and money by removing the bodies that create said duplications. Turning 8 factional councils into one unified body did precisely this. If the government was truly serious about attacking regulations, I can think of one change to this bill that would do precisely this. Scrap the Climate Change Response Act 2002 and we remove the need for clauses 49 to 64 in a flash. At a time where Australia is backtracking on a need for an emissions trading scheme and the United States has rejected a cap-and-trade plan, it is a nonsense that New Zealand continues to cling to our pointless scheme. Because of this government's stubbornness on this, we all have to waste our time in the House amending laws to ensure the right agency is appointing enforcement officers and collecting emissions penalties, etc., etc., etc. ACT is in favour of letting this bill go to Select Committee in the interests of democracy, but for the reasons specified, it will take a great many changes to the bill to convince us to support it any further than that.
Call Louise Upston.